Hey guys, so I don't know if I'm ever gonna do like an introduction to this since I already have a channel. So what I'm doing today is April, hang on one second, April 25th, 26th, 26th. Today's Friday, and so about almost 2.5 weeks ago, well, like the beginning of April, I completely just started on a fitness journey. And anyone who knows me, if you're interested in my story, I've been like overweight my entire life, right? It's just always been a thing. I've never been thin. No clue what the frick it feels like. Do you guys feel like super people because you're thin? But it's just always been a thing. And honestly, I've just never understood why exactly. It's always been a mystery, and I plan to see a doctor soon because I have to find a new doctor. I haven't been to a doctor in a freaking long time. And if anyone's interested, I bet. Hi, Jackamer! My dog Jack is here to visit. Murr, you're taking Goomba's food. I have a cat named Goomba. And so it's just always been a thing. I've gone on like diets before. I did this whole exercise thing. And also, for context, no, I'm not lazy. I know that that's like an easy thing to say, like you're overweight because you're lazy and you eat cheeseburgers and pizza all day long. No, that's not what I do. Generally, I eat a really well-balanced diet. Once in a while, like, yeah, do I want like an ice cream or like a cheeseburger? Well, yeah, but like most of the time, like honestly, for being honest, yeah, I eat a pretty good diet, always have, which is why it eludes me. But so also for context, I also have MS, multiple sclerosis. I was diagnosed in 2006. I was the nice young ripe age of 21. That was great, and getting a diagnosis finally made sense to me, or it made sense, but it also made me like feel relieved. Like now I understand why my eyesight goes blurry when it just gets a little hot, or I get a little hot, which is why exercise has been a major stumbling block, because like everything gets blurry and I can't see and I can't drive, I can't do anything, and then other problems with my MS start to happen. Like I go numb and tingly and I get super tired. Oh man, you guys, it's a whole thing. So when I was younger, I started on yet again another fitness journey. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it this time. There's no reason why I can't. And I started running on a treadmill. It was I love running, regardless of maybe what people will say, but I always did. I like running, I like exercising. It was always like a thing that felt good. And then I had myself a fun little relapse, ended up in the hospital, and I went numb from like the waist down again, which is something like one of my first things that went wrong when I was young, before my diagnosis. And sorry, I just did like an arm workout. Oh my god, I sound like one of those people. I am not one of those people, but I just did an arm workout and some like cardio, whatever. Okay, Patricia. No shade thrown to Patricia's. Anyways, I ended up in the hospital, and he's like, what have you been doing? I'm like, well, I started a fitness journey again. He's like, good for you, what were you doing? I'm like, I've been running. And he's like, well, how much have you been running? I'm like, on a treadmill. I started out with like half a mile, because I would do like half a mile running, a half mile walking, and like do like quarter mile of each, on and off. And he's like, okay, well, obviously, you can't raise your body temperature, because you know what raising your body temperature does to MS. I'm like, yeah, okay, but what am I supposed to do? He's like, well, don't run. So I'm like, okay. So then I healed from that. Like, my feeling came back in my body. my bottom half, I felt better. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start running again. So I did it again. Ended up in the hospital again. I was going numb everywhere. And they did an MRI and they're like, you have like activity. Now, to be clear, I don't think having like a pseudo exacerbation leads to brain lesions, but it seemed to activate something every single time I freaking tried to be active. So then I just learned, like, okay. And then the doctor's like, maybe try yoga. So I'm like, okay, I'll do yoga. Yoga was super fun. And then what I noticed, probably about only very recently, things have slowly been changing over the past, like, I'd say 10 years. And I just became, like, less and less active. So I'm like, every single time I try to do something, I feel like shit. What am I supposed to do? I don't understand. I could do yoga. Yoga is fun. But then fatigue has always been my thing since I was little. Since I was, like, elementary school. It's just been my cross to bear. It's just, I'm tired, please help. I'm not lazy. And I despise the fact that people would make that conclusion about me. Not that it matters what other people think, but it pisses me off because the person I am in here does not match the person I am on the outside, and it never has, and it bugs the shit out of me. Does anyone else out there understand? So recently, about, let's say, I'd say walking and like my ability to walk and my coordination and leg issues, never an issue as far as like 5 years ago. And I distinctly know this because I remember what I was doing 5 years ago. And sorry, I'm wearing a sports bra because I was working out. And well, can you tell? Look at my cheeks. Those will be like that for like 3 hours. Also another thing, it's just a thing. Apparently it's an MS thing. Anyways, and like the heat just like retains in my body for some freaking reason. I'm sorry for this angle. Are you guys irritated? Hi. Oh, I could do this, but then you see my boobs. And I don't want that to be on the internet, per se. Anyways, so 5 years ago I was able to walk all over the place. Walking was never an issue. It started becoming an issue, and I learned that, well, 2 years ago, we went camping, and I was going on a walk with my brothers and my family, and I fell. Okay, now, that's not the whole story, but I fell, and I was just like, oh my god, like, what just happened? And I couldn't, like, okay, so if anybody wants to know, drop foot is a thing, and I've had it before when I had a relapse a long time ago, and it was a really bad relapse. And it's where like you can't figure out like how to coordinate your ankles and like how to take a step. So stupid me, I was like, no, I can think my way out of this thing that I think is a thing. No, and I fell, and it was terrible, and I kept trying to walk to like keep up with everyone, and this is the first time I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. It wasn't because like, oh, I was getting like, you know, like obviously I'm overweight, but like that wasn't the issue. I don't care. But it was, I physically couldn't do it because of my leg, primarily my left leg, which is always, it seems like everything in my body MS related is on my left side. I have this problem, left hand, can't feel anything, and it has spasticity if you guys ever want to know. And my fingers move involuntarily. It's a whole thing. So left-sided mostly. Super great. So then I was like, okay, maybe that was just a fluke. And then me and my brothers and my older brother's wife, we all went to New York City. And we're walking around the city. I'm like, there won't be a problem. That was just a fluke. Whatever. Nope. It wasn't. And it was the most eye-opening. It did a number in my brain, because I was like, you always hear about people with MS that have difficulty walking. I finally reached that stage, and it pisses me off because there's no, so for 7 years now I've been on Tysabri, been a godsend of a drug, because it's kept, there's no hasn't been any new lesions, no activity. But I'm still having issues, and I'm confused about that, and I finally found, like, I think his name's Dr. Boster. I finally understand why that's a thing. It's a thing. You can have progression without MRI things. So I'm like, cool, that's neat. Anyways, so that's been a thing. So then just recently, I'm just like, I'm tired of being overweight. I'm tired of feeling like uncomfortable in certain clothes. I'm tired of people, and I know that they do this, assume that I'm just lazy, or assume that, like, oh, poor Jamie can't do anything. Oh, she's whatever. Oh, poor Jamie, like, whatever. You can't tell me whatever. And I don't like it because it's not me. This is not me. I'm, like, trapped in a body that I don't recognize. I don't know who this body belongs to, but the person in here is not the person out here. It's very wild. Also, I went for my infusion yesterday. Do you guys want to see the freaking bruise? Look. What? Yeah, she did that. Anyways. So, it's just, again, I'm trying again, and this time I'm going slower. And I started with 15 minutes, and I've just been doing, like, walking and balance is not a thing I can do comfortably right now, so I need to get a treadmill. I'm just gonna start walking slowly, but I've been doing, like, my arms, and just doing, like, strength training, stuff like that, so I've been doing that for about 3 weeks. And in terms of, like, my diet, it hasn't really changed because I don't eat terribly, and I never have. Which is irritating to me because that's what people assume. Anyways. So I'm doing it slow, 3 weeks, and I am proud of myself, but I have to do it. I need to talk to a doctor about I need my blood work done. And so you guys are going to be here. It's going to be like an MS fitness journey thing. Because I know a lot of people with MS are overweight. It's just a thing. Why? Because how do you really expect people that are, like, chronically fatigued, and every single time you try to do something that you want to do, you get, oh, my eye went blurry. Oh, now I'm, like, super numb. Like, you get punished for doing something that's good for you. And it pisses me off. But it's fine. Listen, this is my little rant. So you guys are going with me on a fitness journey. And I honestly don't know how much I weigh. I'd rather not weigh myself. I have a rough idea, and it's not a good number. But something needs to change, and I'm tired of it because I'm trapped in a body that I don't like, and I don't understand why it is the way it is, but whatever. So I started drinking these. They're super good. So I had one this morning, and I'm going to have one now. And also, I'm going to try these out for you guys. They're the Atkins Caramel Nut Chew Bar, like for like a snacky snack. And I have an apple, because I like apples. And this is honestly how I eat all the... I'm hoping to get, like, see that skin? But, like, it's not terrible, but, like, I want it to get, like, more, like, tightened up. That's all. I think I can do it. Anyways, and, well, and then, like, everything, like, my tummy and everything, obviously, it's, like, a whole thing. And that's fine, but you guys are gonna come along with me. I'll share I've been doing all of the arm workouts and any of the cardio with dumbbells. I've been using 5 pounds now. Man friend got them for me because I did have 3s, because I'm like, no, start out small. And I'm like, this is not enough, so I'm gonna do 5. I'm not gonna go up anymore until I do, like, another couple of weeks of this. I'm gonna do slowly and steady, and definitely I can feel it, like, in my shoulders, and it feels, like, super good. And it's like right there. Feels good. Feel the burn. Anyways, so that's what I'm going to be doing, and you guys can come along with me on this ride. Cheer me on. I'll cheer you on. Does anybody out there, if you guys ever tried a fitness journey, specifically talking to the people with MS, but even if not, you're welcome too. It's just, I would say people with MS definitely have a whole different challenge. It's not just like, it's different. there's added challenge and added problems and potential problems if you push yourself a little harder. But I gotta start somewhere again. So, and I'm tracking how many steps I take. I started off doing like, maybe it was like, I was keeping track of it like 2,000 a day. And now I'm up to like where 5 is like my normal now, because I've been actively, I feel I'm a little bit more like able to walk. Like I feel I'm paying attention to it. So I'll work up to it and we'll do it. Listen, we're not perfect. And if you have MS, you are a warrior. How long have you had it? Please tell me. It's been an interesting ride. I can tell you right now, I was very naive and I did not understand it, really. Because I was diagnosed with relapse and remitting, so I thought what that meant back in the day, back in 2006, that you have a relapse, but then you recover. What's the big deal? I didn't educate myself enough on this, but no doctor ever told me that, like, no, you still get brain damage from every single time you have a relapse. So, stupid me, I was like, no, I want to be on Copaxone, like, the least, has the lowest, like, efficacy of all the drugs, instead of starting on something really good. Well, I finally learned, and I'm sad, and I wish I could go back in time and make the other decision, but I didn't. So we're just working with it. And now I'm on Tysabri. I'm in year 7, and I am JC virus positive, but my number is low enough to where I'm okay. I know that the risk is about 1 in 100 for getting PML, which is the deadly brain disease, but I'm taking the risk because high risk equals high reward. And we can do it, guys. So if you're starting out on a journey, if you've been on a journey, MS, and a fitness journey, connect with me. We'll talk, give each other tips, and definitely encouragement. Because MS fucking sucks. Excuse my language. It sucks. I thought it was super easy when I was first diagnosed. I was like, whatever. I can do this. I didn't respect it. Now I respect it. Anyways, that's my spiel. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm gonna watch my new current favorite shows are, I love Firefly Lane. I love Dead to Me. Grace and Frankie is great. These are my shows. Oh, and me and Manfred have been watching X-Files. He hasn't seen the whole series before, so we started out. We're going on a little 2-day jaunty hotel stay this week, so definitely going to be watching some X-Files, ordering some nice healthy food. Alright guys, I'll see you in the whenever. Come with me on this journey. Goodbye guys.